Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is a video about the Nikon D750 flare issues that people are talking about. Now, for the past couple of weeks, people have been messaging me saying, Jared, what do you think about this Nikon D750 flare issue? Is this a major problem? Should I buy the camera? Should I not buy the camera? What do you think? Because this has happened again. Well, I held off for a while on basically saying, well, stop worrying about this stuff, because I wanted to get more information. I wanted to hear what Nikon had to say. I wanted to take a look at my images. And what happened is, one reader pointed out that from the football game that I shot, I have the issue that people are talking about. Now, I'm not going to sit here like some people have on YouTube and start pointing the camera up at light and trying to replicate the problem here in not the real world situation. I've actually had it happen in the real world, and I'm going to show you those images because I've taken about 1,000 shots between soccer and between football and between a concert with really harsh backlight on the subject, LEDs coming right into the camera. And I'm going to show you if I had the issue or what I really think about it. But really, don't sit here with your camera and try to replicate the issue to see if you have it, because if you haven't seen it yet, it's probably not that big of a deal. But don't take that statement out of context and think that I'm kissing Nikon's ass, because I'm not. It's a bad thing that they had the D600 come out and have all of those oil issues and not acknowledge an issue right away, but then finally had to go ahead and release the D610 and replace people's D600s. Well, that was good that they went ahead and did that, but then to have the D750 come out, which I think is still a fantastic freaking camera, and have an issue show up again, I don't know how this happens. Is it a supply chain thing? Is it a, just a quality control issue? I don't really know, but that's for Nikon to figure out, because they have acknowledged very quickly now that there is an issue with the D750 and they are looking into it. So I'm going to go into the computer here to show you what I found and tell you more about what I think. So this is a soccer picture, obviously you can see that, and it's shot with a 302.8, I believe, right? 302.8, and it's not shot into the sun. There's no issue. It's beautiful. I love the camera. It's great. But let's move into the concert here. And I'm trying to figure out, is this lens flare? What is it? It's using the 70-200, and I'm shooting vertically. But the question is, being that I didn't have a grip, was I shooting under like this or over like this? I never shoot under like this personally. I always try to get my hand up here, which would mean that if I turn the camera this way, if the main issue is always at the top, then the problem would be along the left-hand side. And I don't see that. I see this flare right here, and it shows up in the next image as well. I can't tell if it's lens flare or not. And that's the thing with something like this, is you start to overanalyze everything. Instead of just going out and shoot, you start to worry about these situations. And honestly, when I saw the images originally, not the concert ones, but the football one, I was like, what is this weird line? But I didn't think twice about it because it only showed up that one time. I thought maybe it was just a weird thing with how the shutter and whatever the light was interacting with, and I didn't think much of it. That's why I didn't point it out in the first place, because I didn't think much of it. So I don't know that this is actually an issue with this. I don't know what that is. But here's the video. I can't show it in develop, but I can show it here. You'll get a good look at this. Look. I don't think I had the right shutter speed going on here. Actually, let me go back a little bit. You can see this. LED lights are notorious for giving issues to video because of the way that they flicker and just the way that they are. But do you see an issue here? I don't see the issue. I see the flickering issue, but I don't see any lines showing up here, and this is using the 70-200. So, it didn't happen in the video here. So there you go. This again, straight lines. But let's go to the horizontal, because here you have this photo and then there's no issue. But then you get to the next photo and I found one. This is where it happened. Is it that big of a deal? No, it's not that big of a deal, especially if it shows up very rarely like this. But that doesn't take Nikon off the hook. They have to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. But now that they've acknowledged it, I'm sure they're going to come out with a solution and a fix. It's a bad thing that it happened, but it's a good thing that they're going to have a solution. So then I show you something like this, and you don't really see anything. This is an ultra-wide angle with a 14mm. Again, I don't see any issues showing up. Same thing here. Not a great photo, but it's just showing you that all of these lights are showing up in my camera. This is the opportune time to have lens flare, and it's not happening. Now we go to the football game. Same thing, wide angle. And then this is the photo that it happened with. And again, this is taken with the 70 to 200. So that means twice it's happened with the 70 to 200. And then this is the photo right after. And then this is the third photo after where it's basically gone. And then we move into something like this. Strong backlight, don't have an issue. And then shooting the lights just to show what the lights look like. And you don't see a flare issue at all. Now, one of the solutions that some people have pointed out is that you just simply use a lens hood. Yeah, that's a solution. It doesn't justify an issue happening. Now, this is so subtle. Across 1,000 pictures that I've taken that have 3 or 4 that show up with it, where I actually noticed it, is not that big of a deal. It really isn't. But the question is, do you wait till Nikon fixes it, or do you go out and buy it right now? That is a tough choice. If you can wait until they acknowledge the issue and say that they fixed it, then that's all right. I'd be all right with buying it right now because I know that they're going to have a solution for it, and it's not that big of a deal. But if you're one of those people that shoots into the light and gets a lot of lens flare artistically, that could be an issue. You may want to wait for this to happen. Does this mean that you should go ahead and buy an alternative brand? Not really if you had your mind set on buying a D750. That's just really the nature of the beast here. Nikon's going to come out with a solution for it. I know they're going to do it. I own the camera that has an issue. Do I really care? Not so much, because we used it for video, we used it for photos, and I didn't see the issue, or even in the photos that I did see the issue in, it wasn't a major issue. So my recommendations, if you have a D750 right now, just go and use it. Don't try to replicate the issue by shooting into the lights and looking for issues and trying to create an issue out of something that isn't that major. Shame on Nikon for allowing it to happen again, but hopefully they have a fix that comes much quicker. I don't want to have to send it in and wait a matter of weeks to have something fixed. That's a pain in the ass, especially if it's your only camera. So maybe hold off for a couple weeks until they figure out what's going on and what the fix is going to be. But if you need a camera right now, I still stand behind the D750 being one of the best cameras that I've seen come out in a long time, and probably one of the cameras that I think most people should look at if they're getting into full frame right away. Hold off for a minute, or make the decision to go ahead and purchase it, and then when Nikon comes out with a fix, they'll either replace yours, which I think they would do, or they'll go ahead and fix it. But just know that you're going to have to wait a little bit for that fix to happen, because you have to send it away and they have to send it back. So really, that's it. That's my feelings on the flare issue. Let me check my notes really quick. And that's really it. That's it, guys. Nikon, please do better on your cameras. Don't have more issues show up like this, because it really reflects poorly on you as a company to have it happen with 2 full-frame cameras almost in a row. So try to do better, please. And that's it, guys. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. If you want to see a real-world review of the Nikon D750, go ahead and click up on the screen right now. It will take you over to the real-world review that I did out in the field with this camera, so you can see whether you like it, you don't like it, or not. But also, if you haven't subscribed here on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can be notified when I release new videos as soon as they come out.